Hi, I'm Scott Engel of RotoExperts.com, coming to you from the fantasy dungeon, the fantasy lair, the fantasy underworld, where I scrape up all my information, help you dominate your league, just like you do when you go to RotoExperts.com. You look for the X, the mark of the fantasy excellence, and you can also look for the XM. That's because we are now the morning drive show on the new SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio channel. That is Sirius 211 XM 147. We've had some great guests already. Guys like Nick Swisher, Jeff Francoeur, Sean Payton. So make sure you tune in. Click the banners here on RotoExperts.com for more information and how you can subscribe. Now on to some fantasy baseball analysis and insights. Boy, all of a sudden, break up the San Francisco Giants. What's going on with these guys? All of a sudden, they've turned it around. And make sure, you ride the hot streak, or at least while they're playing well, to benefit your fantasy team. You don't have to worry about Tim Lincecum. He finally won this week for the first time in 2 weeks. Had a great start on Wednesday night. Lincecum is going to be fine. If you can still find an owner who has Lincecum, who is maybe a little uncomfortable about him, you go and pick him up in a trade. But the trade of Benjamin Molina is really working out good for the Giants. It's really given Buster Posey that freedom, that peace of mind that he needs to hit, and Posey has started off July like a house on fire. But it's sort of had a domino effect. Travis Ishikawa, here's a guy in an NL-only league or a deeper league. If you need to bulk up your batting average, don't overlook Travis Ishikawa. This guy is a solid hitter. He's not going to get you a lot of pop. He's not going to score a ton of runs, but Ishikawa is a nice pickup. Staying in the NL West, the Colorado Rockies certainly had a flair for the dramatic this week. 2 walk-off wins. Boy, the win on Tuesday night was out of the Major League history books with a 9-run comeback. Nothing in the history of where StatSync dates back to 1918 ever has a recorded comeback like that in the bottom of the 9th inning, 9 runs. And it happened with 2 outs. During this hot streak, all of a sudden, Chris Iannetta, Mr. Bust, who we thought was a big prospect for a long time, he's starting to pick it up. But the homers are really coming for Chris Iannetta. The problem is that he's blocked by Miguel Olivo. But let's keep a watch on Chris Iannetta. You don't know, with all these trade rumors coming up and a lot of teams needing a catcher, maybe he's playing away into an audition for another team. The Los Angeles Dodgers, also in the NL West, a team to watch. Matt Kemp was very disappointing until recently when he was benched by Joe Torre about a week ago. And now Kemp is really picking it up with Manny Ramirez. Ramirez is supposed to go on a rehab assignment this weekend. A.J. Burnett really picking things up since Dave Island came back. 2 quality starts, the last one in Oakland. And hey, CC Sabathia finally won in Oakland this week. He's now 3-5 in Oakland lifetime, but Sabathia's on fire right now, one of the top pitchers in fantasy baseball. I always believe that excellent, consistent pitching is very hard to come by, so I really wouldn't accept any trade offers for CC Sabathia right now unless I'm completely blown over. Lots going on in fantasy baseball, lots of rumors. Where will Cliff Lee end up? The Mariners aren't ready to deal him. We'll have to wait and see where Lee ends up. But it really doesn't matter. For fantasy purposes, no matter where Lee goes, he's going to put up the numbers. Imagine if he goes back to Philadelphia. That would be something. But there's a lot of other teams rumored, including the Cincinnati Reds. And the Cincinnati Reds right now, getting great pitching from Johnny Cueto, but Mike Leake is also starting to slow down, so we're going to have to watch that as well. And keep an eye on the Kansas City Royals. Boy, break those guys up. Zach Greinke is pitching well. The Royals are playing well. And who would have thought that Wilson Betterman was going to bust out and hit so well as he has recently? Betterman's hitting for power. He's hitting for average. I say ride out the hot streak while you can. It's not going to last for long. People waiting for the crash of Livan Hernandez. It hasn't happened yet. Hernandez is not going to be dominant, maybe like he was in a few starts early this year, but he's still going to give you serviceable numbers. Carlos Silva is hurting right now. The wins haven't come for him recently, so you got to be a little careful with Carlos Silva. And there's also rumor about Ted Lilly maybe being on the trade block, maybe going to the Mets. Dan Ugler, rumored to go to the Chicago White Sox. I'd love to see Ugler in that White Sox lineup. Of course, if he stays in Florida, he's going to put up the numbers anyway. Adam Dunn, heavy rumors about him going to the Chicago White Sox as well. Fantasy football, there's a lot going on. Wes Welker could be ahead of schedule in his return, but you got to be very, very careful. Chris Johnson looks like he may come to terms with the Tennessee Titans soon. Should be in camp on time, so one less worry. Johnson's still very worthy of the number 1 overall or number 2 pick. The Steelers losing Willie Colon, it really hurts Mershard's Mendenhall's value. If you want in-depth insights on these fantasy football stories, register for our new exclusive Edge fantasy football package. Check out the banners here on RotoExperts.com. It's got everything you need to dominate your league, including more of these exclusive videos from the underground. You want real in-depth fantasy football videos from me and guys like senior NFL editor Mike Gilbert? Register for the exclusive Edge package now. Check it out, our rankings and our projections, which come for the draft and all throughout the season, are deadly accurate. You're going to dominate your league and crush the competition with these. Plus, you get a full PDF magazine. Why spend $8 on the newsstand when we can get this part of a great package? Come and check it out. Click on the exclusive Edge banners, and of course, live fantasy football advice every day, Monday to Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. I'm Scott Engel for RotoExperts.com. Join me again in the underground very soon, and I'll see you with another Roto clip.